My name's Ewan Kent. I'm the sort of director of HEK Fitness and the owner of Extreme Gym Livingston. And the reason I'm here today is obviously to speak to yourselves and to thank you, Business Awards UK, for giving this award. It was completely unexpected, and hopefully to sort of give a little bit of a sort of overview of where we were and where we're at now. So.
Can you provide an overview of your career journey that ultimately led to you becoming director of HEK Fitness, founding the gym, along with a brief description and history of the businesses?
I left the Orkney Islands when I was 18 years old and went to study in Edinburgh, straight out of university into the oil industry, and I was there for 38 years, right? But I always had this sort of desire to have my own gym. I had this kind of vision in my head of what I wanted it to look like and everything, but obviously got involved with the industry. And the industry was very good to me. But I had this thing. And the other reason is that my children and my wife actually were all into health and fitness and, keeping fit and bodybuilding, weight training, all that kind of stuff. And it was a two-pronged thing. It was really, I wanted to do, I just didn't want to kind of like retire from the oil industry and kind of do nothing. I've got far too much energy, I want to be doing things, And so I really wanted to kind of explore this. So I actually, me and my friends used to, every sort of maybe 5 or 6, 7, 8 weeks, we used to sort of go on gym tours around central Scotland. And I ended up in this one gym called Extreme Gym in East Kilbride about maybe 6, 7 years ago. And as soon as I walked in, I thought, my gosh, it's like these guys were inside my head. Everything I'd had in my head, I'm not just saying that, it was exactly how I'd seen it. So anyway, I approached them and asked, we started this dialogue with the two brand owners, if you like, and we came to an agreement, if you like, to franchise through them. So me and my wife own this gym. We bought everything, but they've been massive help to us to kind of get this gym to where it was. So that was part one. We came up with this amazing gym sort of thing. It's big. It's got high ceilings. It's got wall art, bespoke wall art. That we got commissioned. But the main thing is it's allowing me to kind of help my children sort of get used to sort of small business. excuse me, and also for me and my wife to kind of grow this gym, if you like. So it's very much a family enterprise. But it means that at some point in the future, we'll be able to kind of hand this off to them. And they've already proven to me that it's going to be in safe hands. They love it. They've taken a lot of ownership of it. And yeah, I mean, this is what I'm saying to you is like condensed over 5 years, if you like. It took me a long time to get to this point. And we've been operating now for just over a year. It's hard work, I'm not going to lie. 7 days a week, we've had one day off, and that wasn't Christmas Day. We were open Christmas Day. So, but we're all hugely invested in it and just determined to make it a success. And we just can't thank Business Awards for giving us this award for a start, but also the general public around the area, from Edinburgh, from West Lothian, all the regions around here, for supporting us, because we have an amazing gym, but it's not a gym without people, and we're getting that support basically. So that's kind of where it was. Oil industry for a long time, but I still wanted to do something when I grew up, hence the gym sort of thing. So that's where we're at just now.
That is it's phenomenal to hear that the fact you've taken a family passion that you're all interested in and you've made it into what you want to do. And like you're saying, handing it over to your children as well is such a fantastic thing to hear and such a great thing to build up. And again, like you said, you've got so much energy, you want to do something. I think that's a perfect way of doing it, is taking a passion and making it into a business, you would say.
I think the thing, it's not just trying to say the right thing, but I mean, I kind of feel for young people nowadays. It's such a tough world to live in. I mean, let's not lie about it, sort of thing. And it's the job market's really tough and competitive, and their interest is like, they just love all this stuff. And it's not just about lifting weights, it's about nutrition, it's about mental health. There's a whole bunch of things that sort of that carry on over from just lifting a weight. It's discipline, it's like your well-being, there's so many things, and they all understand this, and And it's just great to be able to give them a platform to sort of allow them to grow themselves as well. It's not like I'm holding their hand. They're actually doing things for themselves, and building their own sort of brands within the company sort of thing. So, I mean, it just seems to have been worked for us as a family sort of thing. It's obviously not for everybody, but it's certainly something that, we're all very, very much sort of supporting and trying to sort of move forward, and obviously their own careers as well.
What would you say is one of the main challenges you've overcome as director of HEK Fitness? And what advice would you give to someone who's maybe looking to enter the health and wellbeing industry themselves?
The biggest challenge by far was the premises. No question about it, right? The relationship we had with the brand owners, Extreme Gym brand owners, is phenomenal. I mean, I just can't say enough positive words about them. They're driven, they've got vision, massively supportive sort of thing. So we were very lucky to meet them, and that's kind of why I kept going with it, because I knew I'd found somebody that could share my kind of passion, if you like, my vision sort of thing, and it was just meshed together. It was just perfect. But the biggest issue was getting the support, funnily enough, locally to do this. We had a lot of problems finding a unit, because I knew in my head what I wanted. I wanted a big unit that's 10,000 square feet. I wanted something there's lots of really great gyms around sort of thing, but I wanted something, with variety, because what I like you might not like, and vice versa, that kind of thing. So, but we've got about 130 machines, and it's and it was to get that variety. But the biggest challenge was obviously these units they're kind of, it's in an industrial estate, right? Because that's I was looking for something with a big, concrete floor, if you like, to save for strengthening and all that, because we've got 450 plates for a start, weight plates, just alone. That's not including the machines. So we've got a huge amount of weight. And then I wanted a big high ceiling, but the problem with being in an industrial estate was the change of use, from a normal sort of industrial unit into a fitness and thingy. So I actually I got rejected about maybe, I think it was about 4 times. And I eventually had to appeal to the Scottish Government to actually to kind of raise an appeal to say, look, I'm trying to do something for Livingston, and I'm getting rejected. And the reasons there are various reasons sort of thing, but there's lots of places around Scotland and in for the UK where you have these gyms and gymnastics clubs and yoga, martial arts. They're in the industrial estates, so I wasn't wanting to set a precedent, I was just wanting to a fair hearing. So anyway, I got a hearing with the Scottish Government, so it was myself representing the company and the council, and the Scottish Government favoured with myself. It was unanimous sort of thing. So that was my biggest challenge, without question, was I found the place that I wanted. The place I'm sitting in just now, it was perfect. It's near which is the main road between Edinburgh and Glasgow. And it's big. It's got great car parking outside. And I knew I could keep looking. I would never find anything as good as this, and this is a perfect building. So, but that took at least 2.5 years from when I started looking at buildings to actually getting the change of use. It took between 2 and 2.5 years before we could get to that. COVID didn't help, obviously, because we started that process just at the start of 2020. But that was our biggest challenge, no question about it.
What would you attribute as the main reason for HEK's fitness success?
Perseverance, definitely. I would say perseverance. Perseverance, definitely. But I think, I'm not going to lie, there was probably a period there for about a year where I hardly slept at night. Was I doing the right thing? Were we spending all this money on a kind of vanity project, if you want to call it that? But I always, in the back of my mind, I always had this thing that was the right thing to do. Me and my wife could have given the children, money each. They could have maybe bought a small flat or a deposit, not even bought a small flat, maybe a deposit or a car or something. But what does that actually do? I mean, it's great, but but this is actually allowing them to get used to small businesses, how they work, cash flow, inventory, all that kind of stuff. And my daughter in particular, she's just completely transformed from being a very shy young lady into this very confident, and she's just loving, working in the place. So I think perseverance. I think, and if you've got if you've got something that you really, really believe in, if you really want to get to, I think you're going to have to take a risk, right? You can't just sort of expect things to fall in your lap. And I can probably name about, seriously, 20 or 30 times when I thought, okay, maybe there's a message in here that I'm just being pig-headed and not listening to. But every time I did that, I kept thinking about, why am I doing this? It's not just a vanity project. Yes, I wanted my own gym sort of thing, but this is much, much bigger than just for me, And it's for the future. Like I said, young people have a hard time as it is nowadays, and it was just something for them to kind of give them a platform, and allows me and my wife, obviously, to sort of do what we've always wanted to do as well, So I ticked a lot of boxes, but I would say the biggest thing was just don't give up. There's 100 reasons why you should give up, but there's usually one reason hiding in there somewhere why you shouldn't give up. And I know that sounds a little bit kind of Hollywood, but that is honestly the truth. It just, like I said, there were so many times I just thought, call it a day, just go and do something different, maybe something else. But there was nothing really else I wanted to do. This was kind of it, and there was a passion there. I just didn't want to let it go. That if I fight, I know that sounds a wee bit kind of, big, but I mean that's pretty much it. I was, I'm a huge boxing fan, and the boxing thing is that you don't quit if you get knocked down. You quit if you stay down, and it's kind of like that. We had lots of punches, but we just kept getting off the floor, and just kept going. So I would say perseverance, just like I said, willing to take that risk. And it was a risk, because obviously there's a huge investment here, but we just felt it was the right thing to do, and we got so far, and we just didn't want to give up, basically.
Since winning that award, how has that affected your business, would you say, both internally and externally?
One thing that is definitely, I would say, maybe internally, it's been appreciated, like lots of people say, oh, wow, that's fantastic and everything, which is great. But see, externally, because of my external connections from 38 years in the oil industry sort of thing, I made like tons of sort of connections, if you like, and like I said earlier, the oil industry was good to me. I mean, I had a really good career. I worked for a couple of really amazing companies, sort of thing. I really did. But externally, it's people have contacted me with not knowing I was doing this, because I'm quite a private person. I wasn't singing this from the rooftops, but at the same time, people said, it's when you see what you've done, it doesn't surprise me, sort of thing, which is a bit of a compliment. But I think to answer your question, is that externally, let's say on LinkedIn, for example, I've been getting contact from people, like really senior people in the oil industry, sort of saying, wow, well done, sort of thing, and didn't realise this is what you're doing after you finished the oil industry. So I think it's given us a massive sort of, what's the word I'm looking for, sort of exposure in an area that normally it would never have been. There's obviously in the health and fitness community and word of mouth and, that kind of thing, which is great. And this award obviously helps us get a little bit, people get intrigued because like, well, this wee gym here, this gym here, why has it got an award, sort of thing. So you kind of, it raises your profile, right? But then I think in addition to that, externally, because of my background, there's so many people sort of contacted me to sort of say, that's amazing, well done, and it's really sort of humbling, actually. I'm not really huge on LinkedIn, if I'm honest, sort of thing. I've done a couple of posts, but just specifically on, our gym and HEK Fitness. And they've got a lot of views and a lot of likes and stuff like that. And when I did my last posting a couple of months ago, she cut and pasted out your logo, the awards for the health and wellbeing, and put it in my post, and that obviously attracted a lot of attention, no question about it. So thanks again.
As an award winner, would you recommend Business Awards UK to other businesses?
Oh, 100%. I mean, it's we didn't know much about you, if I have to be honest, sort of thing, before it, and then when we got nominated, I'm not even sure how we got nominated, if I'm honest with you, sort of thing. But then when we started getting some of the data packs from you and some of the stuff, I started looking at your company on LinkedIn, actually, funny enough, and got to know more about you and your kind of global reach, or UK reach. And I've been following the other winners of the awards as well, and it's kind of inspiring when you see some of these kind of small companies coming up and and just so much pride that the feeling I can relate to that directly, because that's how I feel about it as well. If somebody says you won an award, I says, yes, I did win an award, and I was not expecting that at all. To be nominated was an honour, but to win it was, I mean, we never thought for 1 second we'd win it. We've been so new, but we do try and do things differently. We take a very holistic view to this, because one thing that's kind of caught me off guard a little bit with opening the gym is, obviously there's so many benefits from going to the gym, health and fitness, your sort of just your general well-being and all that kind of stuff. But it's the mental health aspect. I've had so many people come up to me, and the way our gym's constructed is it's kind of designed to, when you come off the street, you're met with like, the pictures and, magazines and all this kind of stuff and supplements. And you're immediately starting to take your mind off things. So you go through into the corridor and you hear the thump, thump, thump of the music. The music's, it's not designed to be, it's just to give you a rhythm, it gives you that kind of thing. And then you go into the hall and you just, like most people come in, just go, wow. And they're looking at the wall art, they're looking at the machines, the selection and just the size of the place, And by the time they get in there, they've forgotten about outside. They're in the gym and they're just wanting to get focused on themselves. They're there for 90 minutes or whatever, an hour and 90 minutes. And they're there just to sort of spend that quality time on themselves. And so many people have come up to me and says, having a rough time at the moment, I'm a bit of a dark place, but coming in here, it just gives me that sort of couple hours, I can just completely escape. And some people, I'm not going to lie, some people are having a rough time, and I'm very lucky in life. I've never really had, bad things happen to me and, big problems. Some of these people have massive issues to deal with. And this is almost a little place of sanctuary to come. It just gives them a little release, and massively humbling to actually be able to just help that little bit. I'm not a trained psychologist by any means, sort of thing, but it's just really, really rewarding to kind of hear that kind of stuff. It wasn't something I really thought about when I was opening the place, So yeah, that was a surprise.
What is the next big step for yourself, would you say, and HEK Fitness? I
think for the company, HEK Fitness, that's the umbrella company, me and my wife's company sort of thing. We're looking at other sort of maybe options on health and fitness, maybe sort of classrooms, that kind of thing. My son's very into Pilates, for example. That seems to be a very popular sort of fitness, sort of kind of yoga type thing. So we're looking at doing something that, again, connected to our children, and then trying to grow to help our children grow their own platforms, because obviously they do their own thing. They're qualified PTs. Both my sons are qualified PTs. My daughter, we're looking at maybe she's looking at maybe some college or university courses on business, that kind of thing, business management, that kind of thing. Just trying to prepare them for the long term sort of thing. So we're trying to do as many things for the three of them so that they're well prepared for what's ahead, because let's face it, it's tough out there. Like, the better prepared you are, the better. But for me and my wife, we're looking at some options, outside just the gym. This is obviously a massive starting foundation for us, but we are quite ambitious, and there's other things we're looking at just now. But I guess the most important one is just to keep growing this place. Try and get more people here. We have people coming into Livingston from Edinburgh and Glasgow, and even up in Fife, which is like an hour or hour and a half drive away. And they actually come here. They come to Livingston to come here, and then once they're finished, they'll go into town and they'll maybe have something to eat and maybe do some shopping. So rather than everybody going to the big cities, we're actually getting people to come to the small cities, if you like. So we're trying to grow our gym and just see how far we can take it. So that's the number one priority. But we are looking at some other things as well, So because there is a huge market there, and it's not just because of the market. It's just that it's people are asking us, and we can see the interest. And like I said, I think the health and fitness industry is the more people that do it, it helps with longevity, sarcopenia, muscle mass wastage. There's so many benefits, and then but you don't need to lift weights to feel good about, if you do some exercise, even things like Pilates, even things like just walking, any of that kind of stuff, So we're keen to sort of see where that goes in the future. But I would say the priority is to keep growing this gym and to help the children get established, and then we'll see how it goes after that.
Brilliant. It sounds like you've got a lot of big plans ahead, and it sounds like it's going to be a very interesting and timely kind of event, but it sounds like you're very much ready for it, which is exciting to hear. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today, Ewan. If people want to find HEK Fitness or the gym itself, where can they find you?
We're on all the sort of platforms. I'm not a social media expert, I have to say, sort of thing. That's my wife's forte. But we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook. So Extreme Gym Livingston, up in West Lothian in Scotland. And we've had people come up from England, from London, just they've seen us on Instagram, they've come up sort of thing. And if anybody wants to come up, they're more than welcome to come and see us sort of thing. But yeah, we're based just outside Edinburgh, about a 20-minute drive outside Edinburgh sort of thing. So we're quite close to one of the major cities. And it's been great talking to you, Trem, and thanks very much again for supporting us, because your support means a lot to us as well. It works both ways, so thank you very much.
Brilliant. No, again, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you today, Ewan, and we'll make sure to put those links in the description below. Again, thank you so much for joining us today, Ewan. It's been brilliant.
Thank you, Trem. You take care. We'll speak to you soon.